Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's webinar. Tonight's webinar is on free and inexpensive ways to find deals. So, have you ever been in a situation where your marketing is not getting you enough deals, and you want to explore other ways that you can find deals, especially other free and inexpensive ways to find deals, or if you're in a situation where you don't have the marketing budget to send out your direct mail on your postcards like normal. Well, here are some ways that you can hustle your way through this. Okay. um, and yeah, and find some deals. All right. So first, we're going to start with the what marketing is, because a lot of times when people think about marketing, they don't, they think it's some complicated stuff, and and they don't know how to do it. So I'm gonna like boil marketing down to super simple definition for you guys to know what marketing is, so that way, when someone asks you, "Well, have you done your marketing this week?" You know exactly what that means, and it means way more than just sending out postcards or any of that. So the marketing, how I define marketing, is simply how many people who can use your service know what you do today or this week or this month. Okay, how many who can use your service know what you do? That's it. That's marketing. So so if a day goes by and you haven't expanded the number of people who know what you do, who can use your service and know what you do, then you're not doing marketing for that week or that month. Okay? So, I want you guys to answer this question. Like, if you look at in the last 7 days, or like last week as an example, how many people last week um, that can use your service know what you do? Okay? Your income, so what is income? Income is nothing more than an exchange of service or products for money. Okay, so that means that if you don't exchange your service as a real estate investor, as a real estate agent for other people's money, then you won't make any income. So if you wonder, it's like, how come I haven't made any money yet in this business? Or how come I didn't make any money this month in this business? It's very simple. Number one, how many people who can use your service know what you do? Number two, how many of them, exchange their house, or their, buy a house, exchange their money for the house or the service that you're providing. Okay. And your income, your income is in direct proportion to the number of sellers and buyers that you help exchange their house for their money, basically. Okay. Uh, I guess we'll say their money. um, right? Because we have, the sellers that are exchanging the money with the buyers, and and if you're the buyer, obviously, then that could be, you know, your money, right? But or if you're the seller, then the buyer is exchanging their money. But that's it, y'all. I mean, really super simple way to break down what it means to make money in this business, or in any business for that matter. Okay, in any kind of income generation. Okay, it's just simply how many people who can use your service know what you do. Okay, and how many of them will actually exchange their money for what you have. All right. Okay. Now that we got that out of the way, I share with you this is because I don't want you to limit. Yes, I'm going to talk specifically about some marketing, strategies and tactics today, but I don't want you to be limited to the things that I'm sharing with you today. Okay. I want you to like really use your mind. I want you to really use your mind to um, think about like anywhere that you go, anybody you talk to, it's like how else can I have let more people know what I do, right? So it's like it goes way beyond what I'm about to share with you today. Okay. All right. We'll first start with the free type marketings, right? So the the most easiest free type of marketing is word of mouth. All right. What does that mean, right? So it could be like your contact list. Everybody in your contact list, should know what you do. Everybody on your Facebook friends should know what you do, right? Like, is there anyone in your life that don't know what you do? If the answer to that is yes, there are people in your life that don't know what you do, then you need to reach out to them. And it is the holiday, so it's a great opportunity to reach out and say hi. I want to follow up to see how you're doing. Just want to let you know I buy and sell houses. If you or someone you know have a house you need to sell quickly, please let me know. Okay, so like let everyone let everyone know that you buy houses. It's the first place to start. Okay. um, and then other wholesalers would be another source for deals for you as well, right? Because as you reach out to your contact list, you might have people that says, well, I don't have any, I mean, houses for sale right now, but I've been wanting to get into real estate investing. I've been wanting to buy a rental property. Can I can do you have any houses that I can buy, right? So that could be like that's a possibility. So you can buy deals from wholesalers if you're going to rehab them, or you can wholesale other wholesalers deals as well. Recently, there was another wholesaler that sold one of my houses in Spring, and in the end, he made almost $6,000. My company, we made almost $12,000 out of the deal, right? So he just took the price that we were going to sell it at, and he marked up the price from there and sold it to his buyer. So that's a very common practice. That's a very common thing that people do in this business. Like, so anytime here at Prosperity or Cityscape, um, we have houses for sale. All of you are welcome to market those deals to your buyers and make money on that. So you don't even have to scout out for your own deals if you start networking with buyers. Okay. The best buyers are landlord buyers. People buy and rent because they pay the most money for those houses. Um, and or if you happen to have an owner occupant buyer that wants a retail house to live in, either they have cash or they can get a loan. You can also sell other people's retail deals as well. I'll give you an example. I have four houses that I've recently finished remodeling, that three of which are on the market. Another one is going to be on the market this week. And so, like if you refer me a retail buyer to one of those, one of my rehab deals, or that's another opportunity for you as well. Okay, so utilize wholesalers, utilize rehabbers. There's definitely different ways that you can work with them on their deals, whether you're going to buy them or find a buyer for them. All right. And yeah, and well, I guess along this line, I'll give you another example of this as well. So today we just got a property in a contract that's in sort of like the Sunnyside area, that MLK Cullen area over there, and so, but the house is in a rent ready condition, so it needs very minimal repairs. And so I text out to three of my friends who are owners of property management companies and said, hey, Do you guys have any of your landlord clients that's looking for a property in this area? Here's what I have. Here's how much I'm selling it for. Right. So me as a wholesaler, like actively, reaching out to people that have buyers that might be interested in buying it. And so that's another example of how you can work with wholesalers if you have a good buyers list, or if you have some landlords that are looking for properties. All right, the next type of marketing to find deals is through bird dogs, or sometimes we call them property scouts. So these are people who are out. You basically sort of commission them to go out there to find properties for you. It could be, find for sale by owners. It could be find, vacant houses. It could be find anyone that have houses to sell. I used to have, I used to have a bird dog that I hire, and his only job is to drive around to the zip codes that I assign to him and look for vacant and distressed properties. And in his case, I was paying him $3 per address with pictures. And so so that costs a little bit money. I guess that would fall into the inexpensive, but you certainly can work out something with them where you can pay them a referral fee from the deals that you do. This is especially useful in neighborhoods. So one of the things I used to do for my tenants and my buyers of houses in the areas that, whatever area that I either rented to them or sold it to them, I say, hey, you want to make some extra money on the side? I'm always looking for houses that I can buy, fix up, and either resell or rent. So as now that you're living in this neighborhood, as you drive around, and if you notice any, vacant or distressed property, let me know. And when I buy it, I'll pay you anywhere from $500 to $1,000 referral fee, depending on on the house. And so you can turn your retail buyers and your tenants into bird dogs for you. Okay, same thing. I do that with my staff all the time. I tell them, it's like, hey, as you guys driving to work, driving home from work, um, go to go out on the weekend, right? Anytime that you have an opportunity to drive through a neighborhood, pay attention for vacant and distressed properties, and and let me know. And if I buy it, I'll pay you a referral fee, right? So really, like, put your mind to work, and you can do this with your contact list as well, right? Put all of your contact lists to work and become bird dogs for you, become property scouts for you. Okay. Um, all right. Referrals. I mean, this sort of relate already with bird dogs, but don't just let them know to that that they can find houses and they can refer people to you, but they can also refer people that might have access to houses to you. Like, one of the common thing that people do with me is, like, they refer me real estate agents, right? Which, I mean, that'll be fine, but that's a referral. Like, they give you a referral of someone that might be able to get you some houses. That would work. And other type of referrals are like home service vendors. You have your mailman, you have landscapers, um, you have roofing companies, foundation companies, um, HVAC companies, plumbers, right? Any kind of, like, handyman type people. Okay. right? Handyman, contractors, etc. All of these people can become your referrals, your bird dogs. Okay, um, and I like landscaping companies the most. A lot of time they have a trailer that uh, if you talk to them, you can pay them. Let's say they're gonna mow your grass anyways, right? So they're gonna come through your neighborhood, and you say, "Look, I'll pay you, $50 a month if you're willing to let me put, a couple of signs on the sides of your on the two side of your trailer or in the back of your trailer, right? Like extra $25 a month, $50 a month." And so, like every neighborhood that they're driving around, well, guess what? They're advertising, like they become a driving billboard for you, advertising, your company and your "We Buy Houses" sign. Okay, so landscapers are great, great company for that. Lawn guys, right? More so than like the big landscapers, because normally they have their own signs, but a typical lawn guy don't have those things. So you can put it on their trailer, you can put on their trucks. You can even say, I'll pay you $50 per month, and if I buy any house from your sign, from the signs on your car, I'll pay you $500, $1,000 on top of that. Okay, and so I used to also have a my business cards. Since I haven't been doing acquisition for so long, I don't have these business cards anymore. But on the back of my business cards, I used to say specifically like we pay $1,000 for referral. So when when you yeah, if you know anyone um, that have a house that they need to sell that we can buy, we pay a referral. If you're the only one that buy a house from us, we also pay a referral. So I pay referral for both buying and selling as well. Okay. Um, all right. Roofing companies. Anytime, I mean, roofing, foundation, these HVAC, these are like major repairs. And so so these are really good companies to to get in contact with and get referrals from them, because sometimes they go out and they put bids on these homes, and the homeowners can't afford to do these repairs because they're pretty, so they end up not getting the job because people can't afford it. Well, if they don't get the job, at least they get a referral fee from you for buying those homeowners homes, right? So um, so these are really good companies, and then of course plumbers, handyman, contractors. You always let them know because they're out there doing jobs for sellers. They're out there bidding on contracts, and so they they can make money off of doing the work, or they can make money off of referring people to you. Okay. All right. Next is your homeowner association. So if yeah, it's good for you to be on the board of your homeowner association, or like get active in your homeowner association. Even like I'll add PTAs in here, but um, if you were on the board, or if you know people who are on the board, like in my neighborhood, I'm not on the board, but my neighbor behind me is on the board, so I talk to him. And so yeah, like I hope you do talk to your neighbors, but get to know your left neighbor, your right neighbor, your front neighbor, your back neighbor, like all the neighbors around you, because they're a great source for your referrals as well. And then whenever we have houses that we have for rent, we also talk to your neighbors, so that way the neighbors is looking out for us as well. Uh, for our tenants and stuff. We don't do that so much for houses that we have for sale, but like, why not, right? my the very first house that I bought when I started the business, I was rehabbing it, and I talked to the neighbor to the left of the house, and and that neighbor ended up to be a real estate agent who then a couple months later sold me a house in another neighborhood that she got listing on, and I got the deal because I was paying her both sides of the commission, right? Like for her to represent me as a buyer, and then for her to represent her seller as well. So so I got the deal because because she was getting 6% commission instead of selling it to another offer that was higher than mine, but she would have only made 3% commission. So and then I talked to the neighbor to the right side of the house, and he had a house that was similar to mine, um, and he was filing the house I was working on was a mold property, so it had mold damage and had insurance claim. Well, his house also has mold damage, and so he was making a claim to his insurance company. And I found out that he said he would be interested in selling it after he settled the claim with the insurance company. So I just continued to talk to him, continued to follow up. Well, guess what? 6 months later, I bought his house too for the same price that I bought my very first one. And they both became uh, like super profitable deals, both of them. And so it's funny that I'm sharing this story because it's like it's making me hit myself in the head of why haven't I been doing that with all these rehabs I've been doing? I guess because when I first started out, I was hungry, and so I was willing to just hustle through everything. But nowadays, like I got so comfortable and so uh, um, like used to doing direct mail that I don't think about some of these strategies anymore that used to work really well for me when I first got started in real estate investing. And so I highly recommend that you guys do that. Because when you're buying someone's house, I mean, that's social proof that you are a proven buyer. So why not take advantage of that social proof, that credibility, and and talk to the neighbors and try to buy it from them. Okay. Um, Hold on real quick for me. Yuvia is calling me, and she said it's an emergency. So hold on. Let me see what's going on here. I'm going to mute myself out. Hold on. Holy cow, y'all! Yuvia is at Jim's house because we haven't been able to get a hold of him since yesterday, and and she's over there, and she found him in the bathroom, and he has passed away. So, gosh, now, man, I don't know. I don't even know how to like react to that yet. But anyways, all right. Well, I hope I didn't like put that um too much in your space there. But really, like, yeah. I guess just take a couple minutes here just to acknowledge. Charlotte, you raise your hand.
Uh, would you
Would
like to
you like to
postpone this?
postpone this? Um, no, we can. I mean, well, Uvia and AC are taking care of that, and so we can finish this, and then yeah, and then I'll go and attend to that. Um, but I mean, there's the ambulance is there now, but I mean, there's really nothing I can do at this time, and so we'll finish this up. But yeah. Whew. Um, so yeah, so um, like tonight, after this webinar, especially guys, like take this opportunity to really like to communicate with your loved ones. Let them know you love them, right? Let them know you appreciate them, and say whatever you need to say. To like every day, you want to be complete um, with with the relationships in your life, and not let anything linger to the next day, because you really don't know if you have another day, right? And so wow, okay, all right, yeah, okay, about where was I? HOA. Yeah, so homeowner association is a great, a great way to get connected. Okay, a lot of neighborhoods, a lot of homeowner associations now, they have forums, they have a website or a forum or a Facebook group that you can participate in. So any house that either your own neighborhood or neighborhood of homes that you have for rent in, right, that you own a home in, it's good to join those groups, so that way you can be on top of what's going on in the neighborhood, and let all of these people know that you buy houses, and you want to beautify the community. All right. PTAs is just another great source of also people to to if you have kids, especially, right, right, all of those parents in the neighborhood, you want to let all of them know that you buy houses, because these parents, like, they want the neighborhoods to be beautified. They don't want to have ugly, distressed houses in their neighborhood, and so let them know that you buy houses. There'll be another great source for you as well. Okay. Okay. All right. So that was word of mouth marketing. Now we're going to move into posting for deals, right? Posting on different websites. Craigslist, like posting your "We Buy Houses" ads type of thing. We buy houses. I buy houses. Sell your home fast. So you can post those kind of ads on Craigslist. Backpage is not that popular here in Texas, so you won't get much activity. You won't get much response, but Backpage is it's a good place to find some wholesale deals, because I do see wholesalers posting their deals on there as well. But Craigs in terms of like posting your ads, Craigslist is going to be your your best way to go about it. Okay. All right. Dialing for deals. If you want to see example of ads, all you have to do is go on Craigslist and search for "We Buy Houses" or "Sell Your Home Fast." You see example of ads that are on there, and and you can copy some of those ads, and change it um, to your message and your contact info. Okay, and test different ads. Y'all don't like don't be afraid to test different ads. Do some crazy ads or whatever, just to get someone's attention. Okay, so test different things. These ads are free, so test them as much as you want. The the goal is to keep your ad on the first page of Craigslist. So anytime you see that your ads fall, fall to the second page or third page, it's best if you post another ad. And It's better to post a different ad than it is to repost an ad. If you're familiar with Craigslist, Craigslist allows you, I think it's like after 48 hours or something like that, you can repost your ad and your ad will get back on the first page again. But the thing with reposting an ad is that then you only have one ad running versus if you post a new ad, then you have one ad on the first page, one ad on the second page, and then let's say the next day you post another ad. That's three ads on three different pages, right? And so no matter what page a seller's on, you have your ad running. So it's better to post a new ad. When you post a new ad, just make sure your ad is different and not like exactly the same as the previous ad that you post. Okay. All right. Next is dialing for deals. So dialing for deals is a function of calling people, okay, that have houses for sale, houses for rent, and so for sell by owners, it would be the first easy type of people to call. Um, so there's a lot of for sale by owners on Craigslist that you can call. There's for sale by owner on Zillow that you can call. Okay, for sale by owner by thegreensheet.com. The Green Sheets. Uh, you know, the Green Sheet has recently been very heavily marketing their website online. They used to not do that. They used to be primarily offline off of the Green Sheet, right? But now they're running ads. They're doing a lot of stuff online now, and so you can call them as well. Okay, they'll be they're a great source for sellers. You can also just Google for sell by owners, so that way you can get like other websites that you can go to call as well. Okay. There are different companies out there that sells for sell by owner list. So when you go to Google, if you Google for sell by owner um, list or Fishbowl list, right? Sometimes it's short like this, Fishbowl. Uh, you know, there'll be companies that sell these kind of lists. The company that we use is called byownerdaily.com. So we buy our for sale by owner list from them as well. And so there's different companies out there that sell them. Okay, that you can buy. So you can just check. I haven't checked on prices on these for so long, but I've been a subscriber of by owner daily since, gosh, I don't know, probably like 10 years ago or something, long time. And so it does definitely work. And so we subscribe to them. So you can do that. Now that it does cost some money. It's like I think 40, $50 a month, something like that. All right, and let me think here. Um, Same thing for rent by owners. Very similar, situation here. Here's someone who has a house for rent. You can, you can call them and ask them, if they're interested in selling instead of renting, right? So, hi, I noticed you have a house for rent. I was wondering, are you interested in selling the house instead of just renting it? Um, and so, if they say yes, obviously you can make them an offer. If they say no, then you can ask them, well, um, are you looking for more rental properties? Because sometimes I run across, good rental properties that I sell as well. And so, so they can be a seller for you or they can be a buyer for you. Okay. And a lot of times when you call these numbers also is that you're going to get a real estate agent or you're going to get a property management company, in which case then you just ask them if they have any clients that are interested in buying more rental properties, and that you'll pay them a commission if you do sell to their clients. Okay? So there's all different ways that you can go about you know working the for rent list. Same thing, Craigslist has them, Zillow has them, Green Sheet has them. You can Google for rent houses. There's no such thing as like a for rent list, for rent by owner list, like the way the for sale by owner list is. Okay, and so you can't buy that list or subscribe to that list, but that is available to you. Alrighty. Um, if as I go along, if you have some questions, feel free to either raise your hand or type it into the question, and I will answer them as I go along if I'm going too fast for you or anything like that. Okay. All right. Now let's move on to driving for deals. Driving for dollars is basically driving for deals. Basically, driving around neighborhoods, looking for homes for sale, homes for rent, right? And looking for vacant, distressed properties. Anybody that has a house that you can talk to about potentially buying it from them. Okay. Um, and yeah, so if obviously if there's a phone number, then you can call them. If there's not a phone number, you can send them a letter. You can door knock, which we'll talk about next here. You can door knock on the neighbors' doors. Um, you you know yeah, you can send them a letter, right? So you can do all of that with driving for deals. Next is door knocking for deals. So like I said, not door knock on vacant house neighbors, the one to the left, to the right, in front, right? And if none of those people know them, even go down to a couple houses. Someone might know them. You can also door knock on expired listings and terminated listings as well. So these are homeowners that listed their properties on the MLS, and their listing either expired or they terminated their listing with the agent, and so now you can buy it. So you can door knock them, you can send them a letter, a postcard. Getting this list is obviously free. You can just pull the list off of the MLS. Okay. Now, withdrawn listings works a little bit differently. Withdrawn listings, a lot of time the agent is still involved. So the house is still for sale. It's just being withdrawn from either from the MLS or from being actively marketed to. A lot of time people withdraw their listings is because they want to take it off the market to do some repairs before they put it back on the market again, or something to that nature. And so if you're an agent, if you're a real estate agent, you can't you can go after expired listings and terminated listings to try to get a listing. um, but like real estate agents are not supposed to market to the homeowners directly on a withdrawn listing. Now, in your case where you're contacting the homeowner to buy it from them, that's a different story. But just to be safe, if it's a withdrawn listing, just find out the agent and make an offer through them, um, and not directly to the homeowner. Okay, because in a withdrawn listing, the agent is still working with the seller. It's just, yeah, they're just taking it off of the market. That's all. All right. You can also door knock on pre foreclosure list as well. This is what I did when I first started this business. I was out there door knocking on pre foreclosures like crazy. It's a lot of work. I you know generally I don't recommend it, but heck, if you're hustling and you don't have any other leads, and this is going like this is an option, then go for it, right? I mean, if you don't have deals you're working on, I say hustle and do as many different things as you can to find deals, and don't be shy of that. But it's I'm just giving you a warning, it's a lot of work. Okay. um, I do other things with the pre. I do mailing to the pre foreclosure list and not door knock on them. It's just I like direct mail, but obviously it costs more money, so it doesn't fall into the free category. Okay. All right. So now let's move to the inexpensive category. So actually, before we move, you guys have any questions around the um, free marketing? Or if you have any like other free marketing that you want to share that I haven't mentioned.
Tim,
Hugo.
can you
Tim,
hear
can you
me?
hear me? Yep. Uh huh.
Where do you get
Where
the
do you get the
pre-foreclosure list?
pre-foreclosure list? There's a company in town called Foreclose Houston. Uh, their website is foreclosehouston.com. That you can subscribe to their list. It does cost it does cost money, obviously. So it's not free, but it's inexpensive enough. So foreclosehouston.com. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, I uh, I have a subscription. I like here at Prosperity, we have subscription to everything, pretty a lot of different things. And so, so if you want to test something out, if you want to test a service out before you buy it, just let us know, um, and we'll pull you a list, and then you can go test it out. And if you're going to use it long term, then you can make that decision at a different time. And Yeah, so you can make that decision at a different time, but that's an option to you. And then Mia said that if you have access to the MLS, you can get pre-foreclosure list in Real List. Okay. Um, Mia, do you know how updated that is? Because I know like Foreclose Houston, they're really good with updating their pre-foreclosure list pretty fast. Okay, Mia said that they're fairly updated, so great. All right, thank you. Yeah, Real List is new to our market, and so I haven't used Real List for pre-foreclosure list because I've been subscribed to Foreclose Houston for a long time. But so there you go. Realist is an option. Thank you, Mia. All right. Anyone else have any questions around this, or any like uh, other other ways that you wanna share? Okay. All right. Cool. Uh, FYI, Hugo, I muted you again. So if you want to talk, let me know. Okay. Um, Paul said real acquisition. Yeah, real acquisition is definitely another list service that you can subscribe to. That's I guess you can say they're fairly inexpensive, but we'll talk about. I think um, down here would be a good place to talk about real acquisition. They cost like $1,000 a year or $1,500 a year. I don't remember. Um, and we also have access. We also have a subscription to that as well. So if you want to test any of that, let us know. Um, so okay, so now let's move on to inexpensive ways to find deals. Okay, so you have your bandit signs is one way. Now here in Texas, I think it was in back in 2008. They actually um, uh, outlaw, right? Yeah, bandit signs, meaning that it's not just against the city ordinance anymore. it is actually illegal to put out signs in the uh, uh, public on public properties without permits. Okay, obviously it's not enforced like a law, right? They'll just fine you, but it is outlaw. And so whenever you put out bandit signs, like I prefer to put them out on private properties. So put them behind the sidewalk. Right? Anything outside of the sidewalk normally belongs to the public property. Anything behind the sidewalk normally belongs to the either that shopping strip or that house or that lot, right? So whenever I see like a vacant lot too, you know, a lot of time those are private properties, so you can put out signs on vacant lots also. Um, and anywhere that I see that have builder signs, I will also put "We Buy Houses" sign too, because sometimes if they're looking for a house to buy, a new home to buy, they consider selling their home, and since there's builder signs there, my sign doesn't look like it's out of place, right? It's coming along with other signs, and so put them in private properties, put them on private lots, vacant lots, lots where builders also put their signs. And I used to also put bandit signs on vacant houses a lot. I haven't been doing that for a while. I haven't put out signs in a long time, really. But when I did, I used to put it out on vacant houses as well. And what happens there is that you have buyers that are looking for houses to buy in that neighborhood. So when they see your sign, they think that you're trying to sell that house. So you get a lot of buyers calling you, and when you have buyers calling you, just tell them, well, that house is not available for sale yet, but I do have another one, down the street or in the next neighborhood I can sell to you. You get their contact information, so you can dominate a neighbor, like you can really farm a neighborhood and have a lot of buyers for that neighborhood by using that strategy. And then if you're not getting calls from buyers, then you're gonna get calls from sellers. Like, what are you doing? Put on your sign on my on my yard. My house is not for sale. Blah blah blah. Whatever they say, and yeah, whatever they say, you just say, well, I'm Mr. Seller, Mrs. Seller. I've been, I noticed that your house is vacant. I've been trying to get a hold of you, and I couldn't get a hold of you, and so I thought, like, this is a way to, to get your attention to call me. I would love to buy your house. I buy houses, and so, so now you have sellers calling you directly without you having to skip trace them. Okay, and if the seller doesn't notice it, you have the neighbors that will call the seller and tell the seller that they have to sign in the yard. So now you have the neighbors working for you too. So signs, "We Buy Houses" sign on vacant houses is a really great strategy. I used to even do that. I even do that on foreclosure, like REO properties, foreclosed properties, the bank owned properties. I have to do it a little bit more, carefully with those type of properties. But what I do is you know, um, I'll put out, especially for like home for sale kind of, like if I'm trying to build a buyers list of investors, right? Normally the the day that a an agent lists a bank owned property on the MLS, like that day, you have a lot of investors going out to look at those homes, and so so I'll go and put out a sign, and the way I put it is I put it on right on the borderline between the bank owned property and the next house, where you really can't tell which house it belongs to, right? So the homeowner of the next house thinks that it belongs to the foreclosed property, and the foreclosed property things belong to the next house, right? So I put it right on the borderline there to get attention of all of the investors that are looking at that house to buy, and that happens in the first day especially, but the first few days you have a lot of investor activities, and then you can even like you can even go into that bank owned property, like if you have an agent that can get you access in, you can even just hang out in that house, and you get to meet investors that are coming in to buy houses. Okay, so you can talk to them and give them your business card, and like use them as a resource to sell houses to them. Okay? All right, I hope you guys caught that whole strategy. But yeah, I call them the hustle strategy, right? Like you just hustle your way through it, and make it work. All right, billboard signs. So billboard signs are super useful when you have like a convenience store that especially in the lower income area, and a lot of time like those brand name stores like Shell, Exxon, and stuff. A lot of time they won't let you put out a sign, but if you have like a mom and pop convenience store, you can work out a deal with them, to pay $50, $100 a month to put out a bigger sign, yeah, in near their store, right? Like on their lot, and so so that's a pretty inexpensive way to have billboards without paying the big bucks that billboards that you have to pay with billboards. Okay, and then um, then you have, oh man, I'm running out of time. I need to speed this up. Um, door-to-door flyers. Basically, if there's a neighborhood that you farm, then you can also go. You can print out some flyers. Flyers are fairly inexpensive to print, and you can put your kids to work. Like, um, you know, my wife and I, we have two boys. They are now 8 and 11. But even when they were younger, we take them out whenever we have houses to sell, and we want to flood the neighborhood with flyers. We'll pick up our nieces and nephew. We pick up our kids, and we go with them. We park at one end of the street. We walk down the other end. Walk back on the other side, and then go to another street and like do that. Pass out tons of flyers that way, and the kids get a great learning experience, get some exercise, and we pay them money too, so they get to make some money to buy toys with and stuff like that. Yeah. Um, all right, and so do flyers. The thing I want to warn you with flyers, you will get a lot of calls. Okay, I mean, because like a lot of people are just curious about your business and what you want to do. So you do get a lot more calls. So do expect that when you do flyers. We normally, like, when we do flyers, we don't do the full page one. We make it look. We do like a half page, or I guess a quarter page. Make it look like a UPS notice, and that we tape on the door or on the doorknob, you know and so yeah, so like make it, design your flyer to make it look like a UPS notice, and yeah, you'll get a lot of attention that way. You can use the same language that you would use on your house, on your postcards as well. You really don't need to do a different language, but you can tweak it. All right. There's other type of list that you can send letters to. You can skip trace to find their phone number, so you can call them directly. These are your vacant and distressed houses from when you do driving for dollars. Code violation list. You get this list by calling the city. It's called the dangerous building list. Okay, and the code violation list. There's two different lists. There's a pre-hearing list and then there's a post-hearing list. The one that you want to go after is the post-hearing. So pre-hearing, basically it's like before their court date. Okay, before their court date, and so sometimes they fix it up before then. But if the court date already passed and they still haven't fixed it, then there are more serious people for you that you can go after. Okay, it's called the dangerous building, not list. Dangerous building is the department, dangerous building department, and yeah, the list is called the code violation list. Okay, it's fairly inexpensive, so you can get that. Another type of list you can get is the fire incident report. So you can contact the city or Harris, the city of Houston fire marshal department, and ask them about this list. In city of Houston, they charge you $5 per day worth of list. So if you get 30 days worth, that's like $150, right? So it gets kind of expensive. But some of our best deals are fire damage deals, and so, because a lot of time the insurance company have already paid for that house, for that insurance claim, and so the owner owns it free and clear, and so you can get it really inexpensively or for lot value or less than lot value. And so you can call the fire marshal department to ask for that list. Now, outside of the city limit, outside of the city of Houston, there's another list from Harris County, and that list is free, but it doesn't have as many incidents. Okay? Whenever we go after the fire incident list, we're looking for the ones that has like 40,000 or more in repairs. Because the more damage there is, the more chances that the seller's is not gonna fix the property, and they're just gonna get the insurance, money and move on. All right. the the next type of list is your probate list. I'm gonna also put in the eviction list too. I'll move it down there. Oops. So probate list. You can go to the county probate websites to compile that list. Okay. Okay. Divorce list. I don't know of any company that provide divorce lists, but you can go down to the county to pull that public record. Okay. You know what? Let me think about that. Yeah. Okay. I just have an idea. I just have an idea that I'm gonna go find someone that goes down to the courthouse and get all these lists that we can't buy or subscribe, um, and and yeah, and make that. We'll see about making that available to you guys. So let me think through that. All right, cool. Paul said real acquisition does have divorce lists. So great. Yeah, that's right. They do have that. Forgot about that. Thanks, Paul. Thanks for the reminder. So so real acquisition would be a resource for that. Okay. And they have, I think I remember they have probate lists too, but it was a very small list. Um, all right, and then also uh, foreclosed Houston also have the probate list too, but again, it's a small list. It's not a big list. All right. The next type of list is the pre-foreclosure list. You know, pre-foreclosure list. It's the trick with them is that they a lot of them are in denial. So whenever we do marketing to them, um, a lot of them call us like the week before the auction happens, and so we don't have a lot of time to act. And so if you know how to postpone foreclosure, if you know how to do short sales, the pre-foreclosure list is a great list to go after. But if you do go after foreclosure lists, I recommend that you go after only the ones that have high equity. Okay. um, you know yeah, and so oh, here's another list that I used to pull a lot. uh, I used to do a lot of um, chapter 13. um, I used to do a lot of short sales. So I would mail out to the pre-foreclosure list. I would mail out to bankruptcy list. So you can do that as well. And then yeah, and then like even within the bankruptcy list, you have the people who recently filed bankruptcy, and then you have the people who have like have like age bankruptcy, meaning it's been like 3 6 months. And then you have ones that just get kicked out of bankruptcy. And I normally mail to the ones that are. I don't mail out to the one that just filed for bankruptcy. I mail to the ones that been in bankruptcy for 3 months, or that they just got dismissed out of bankruptcy, meaning they got kicked out for non-payments or whatever the case might be. Because then, if they're being kicked out of bankruptcy, most likely the bank is now getting ready to foreclose on them again. So I mail to those lists as well. Um, and yeah, and so uh, yeah, so that's an then and I don't remember the website. It's a government website called Pacer. So go Google it. It might be pacer.gov, but go. I don't remember the website. I haven't pulled that list in a while. But that's also another list available to you. All right. So, eviction notice list, basically, the let me just move this. Um, you know, landlords who just filed for eviction. This is you can go to the precincts, like every precinct where you file for eviction. They'll give you a booklet of all the eviction notices that you can look through and get those lists. Okay, I haven't gone. It's a lot of remember, like some of these things I used to do because I used to be willing to hustle for them. But like eviction notice as an example, like I used to have to go down to each precincts to look at these notices and then write down the property info and the landlord info, and then go back and yeah, try to call them or try to send out letters to them. And so it was a lot of work. So some of these I don't do anymore, and I don't think anybody provide an eviction notice list. And so you can do that, and you won't have too much competition there. Okay. All right. Anytime, like, if you don't want to spend a lot of money in direct mail, um, then you got to be really targeted with your list, so that way you're mailing to less people. So all of these lists that I'm talking about, the thing that they all have in common is they're all very targeted. They're all very targeted to um, to that, to that specific um, like group of people, right? And so if you're farming an area, you can also contact, you can also mail out to a farm area. If you do a lot of like high end rehab type of stuff, you can yeah. So you can uh, you could do mail out to specific neighborhoods as well. Like if you farm the Heights or Independence Height or surrounding area or Edu as an example, right? Doing mailing specific to those neighborhoods will be good. Um, and then you can also, if there's a specific neighborhood that you want to go after, like your neighborhood, and you don't want to do a lot of mailing, you can also focus on high equity, so people who own their house for 20 years or more. Okay. All right. All right, y'all. Well, I am out of time for this webinar. I have to jump on another call here. And so, I hope you guys enjoyed this webinar. Did you guys learn a lot today? Okay. This webinar will be recorded, and so, um, so you guys can re-listen to it again. And if there's a big demand for it, maybe we can do a part two of this webinar or something. Okay. So we can go, drill further in and allow you guys to, uh, ask questions as well. But all right, y'all. Well, you guys have an awesome, awesome evening. I wish you an amazing, prosperous new year. Okay. So go out there, hug your loved ones, kiss them, let them know you love them, and you know, yeah. All right. Send good thoughts to Jim, and may he rest in peace. All right, y'all. You have a good one. Talk to you later. Bye.